Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm about to talk about something that's kind of disturbing, so I guess this is like a trigger warning, but I don't know if you know or if you remember a mom from Detroit who hit the news after her two children were found deceased inside of a car in Detroit. Now, this happened back in February of this year. A mom, I think it was four children, a sibling, and her mom were all homeless and they were living out of a car. And the mom said that she had been looking for a place to stay, that she had been reaching out to shelters, social services, trying to find a place for her and her family to live. And she wasn't able to do that. And so they all ended up being homeless and living out of her car. Now, these shelters and social services and things do verify that she had been reaching out for a few months, but they either didn't have space or they weren't able to get in contact with her. And so she ended up sleeping in her car during the winter. They're saying that her last point of contact with a shelter was in November. She ended up staying in her car during the winter, and according to the mom, she had left the car running with the heat on. And she said that the car must have somehow ran out of gas. And when she woke up the next morning and she went to wake up her children, they never woke up. She ended up discovering that the boy, he was 9 years old and his name is Darnell Curry. She tried to wake him up first and realized that he was not breathing and ended up rushing him to the hospital. On her way to the hospital, it was discovered, I'm assuming probably by the mom, that the baby girl wasn't breathing either. And she's 2 years old and her name is Amila Curry. She wasn't breathing either. So the little girl ended up getting rushed to the hospital as well, and both were pronounced deceased at the hospital. That's a little backstory, right? And again, this happened in February, February 10th. This hit the news because of the mom saying that she reached out to different homeless shelters and things like that and wasn't receiving any help. And so it put the city of Detroit kind of on blast because it's like, if someone is reaching out for services, why isn't she getting that help, especially in the middle of winter, knowing how cold it gets in Detroit? And they ended up interviewing different family members. They ended up interviewing the dad, who is a whole other thing because when they interviewed the dad, he ended up saying that he did not know that they were homeless.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, "Can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because y'all homeless?" That's two different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
Say, I saw it. That's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not.
The mom said that she reached out to the dad to come and get his children, which he is the father of only the two that deceased. And he refused to come and get them. But according to him, he did not know that they were homeless. And he was saying like, if I had known, then I would have came and got them. But to me, that doesn't even matter. If the mom is reaching out to you saying, can you come and get your children? Can you come and get your children? Can you come and get your children? You're not going to ask more questions. You're not gonna be like, all right, I'm coming get him. You're just gonna keep saying, no, no, no. That to me is telling me that you don't care. And the way that he was in the interview just seemed like real nonchalant to me. He just seemed like, oh man, yeah, that's unfortunate of what happened, but it's not my fault. I didn't know. Just real, it didn't seem like he really cared. And I could tell like something was like a little off with the dad. He, I don't know if he just a little slow or what. They all kind of seem a little off to me. They all seem a little off to me.
Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke,
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
My whole point in saying that is that the Detroit police have issued a warrant for an investigation, and they submitted a request, gave it to the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor's office will ultimately make the decision if they will file charges or not.
These police have been looking into this case not only to figure out what led to the children's death, but also to see if there was a criminal component to it all. Now, since that time in February, there's been multiple people brought in for questioning, including the children's mother and grandma, but no arrests have been made. Now it will be up to Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy to decide if anybody is criminally culpable.
Because, come to find out, the children didn't die from hypothermia like everybody was thinking. They actually, after the autopsy was performed, they actually found out that they passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, carbon monoxide is an odorless, colorless gas, right? You can't tell that it's there. But once it's there and you're inhaling it for a long period of time, you experience poisoning. You're going to pass away. It's going to get you. And you won't know it's there unless you have some type of carbon monoxide detector, and that's why they are pushing to put more of those in homes these days. After the children were pronounced dead, and the mom, she came on the news and was crying and everything, telling the story. Um, the city ended up giving her a house. She has set up a GoFundMe, and donations were pouring in. And so her situation has changed. But a video surfaced of not too long after, because we're only in March. Not too long after this, a video surfaced of her partying, of her at a party, partying, dancing, twerking, drinking, all that stuff, seeming real happy, and it was caught and put on Facebook Live. Now, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. When I first heard of this story, it didn't seem right to me. It didn't seem right to me. Something didn't sit right. And this is before any of this came out, because this just came out yesterday that the police department um issued a warrant and there may be charges filed and an investigation will be performed and all this stuff. This just came out yesterday. But when the story first dropped, I thought to myself, okay, why only those two ended up passing away, but not anybody else in the car? If it was that cold, why was nobody else affected? If it was that cold, why weren't they huddling up, bundling up under each other to stay warm? Y'all ain't have some type of coat, some type of blanket, some clothes that y'all could pile up to stay warm? Why only those two? And then when I seen the interview with the dad, it made me think, I hope she didn't do anything to those children because of him. Because it was like I reached out to you. You ain't want to help me. You ain't ish. So I'm going to do this to get rid of them because of who you are. This is what I'm thinking to myself back then. I hope that's not it. But these days, you really just do not know. It's so many stories of women coming out doing disgusting, horrific things to these children. And you would never know because most of us don't look at moms that way. We feel like mom is the one that's going to be there. She's going to take care of you. She would never do anything like that. But it's coming out that a lot of these women are fraud and they are just as bad, if not worse. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you in the next one of which is this one. Go watch it.